What made the Nigerian police get a phone call from outside the country? You don't even know this person because he claimed that at that time he did not know that this was Hushpuppi. So you get a phone call and you guys moved without any mobilization. Welcome to episode 21. We're on episode 21, yeah? Yep. Episode 21 of Reactions. My name is Mr. Sal. Joining me today is Mr. Henry Oqua. Yes, Henry, how are you doing?
I'm good.
This one you balance like big man.
Baba, I have to prepare for the part now before I get to there. Right? It's small. These are the things that we'll use and execute there. So
to get there. This week, I got a message, a feedback. Most times I really don't look at. I don't ask for the feedback. So when it comes organically, especially from important people. So one of our top fashion models in London, like he's a top fashion model, but he's one of my guys that follows me on IG. So he just messaged me randomly. It was like he watched a couple of episodes. I just want to let you know that your show is amazing. Like that's literally what Toyosi said.
Thank you.
So Toyosi, a shout out for you.
Thank you, Toyosi.
Yeah. So and thank you to everyone that's been watching and supporting us. Like we're really growing on YouTube. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed to Page 36 TV on YouTube. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Like, share, and comment. Let us know what you feel. Don't just go to our Facebook page and start dragging. Exactly. That's where they go to. So anyway, let's get to the business of the day. The business of the day. All right. So, suspected Nigerian fraudster. Yep. Is he still suspected though?
Well, he has confessed. So.
Yes. So Ramon Abbas, popularly known around the world. Yeah, he's now a popular world global fraudster. Hushpuppi, known as Hushpuppi. So if you know Hushpuppi, his name is Ramon Abbas. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to be addressing him as Abbas. For this report. So, suspected Nigerian fraudster Ramon Abbas, popularly known around the world as Hushpuppi, who recently pleaded guilty in the United States to major wire fraud charges to the tune of over $24 million US dollars, and agreed to a plea deal to serve up to 20 years in jail, as we found out earlier this week, has, according to court documents from the US, which leaked a couple of days ago, alleged that he bribed one of the most celebrated police officers in Nigeria. That's the Deputy Commissioner of Police, known as Abba Kyari, popularly Kyari. Abba Kyari. It's the same name with the late
Chief of Staff.
Yeah. So Abba Kyari, popularly referred to as Super Cop. Yeah. I didn't hear that one before, but everywhere people have been saying I'm Super Cop, and they were naming a lot of cases he has handled and made him earn that title. Like they talked about the Evans one. I don't know what's happened to Evans.
Evans, the ritualist.
Yes, that one. They say he single-handedly caught Evans and whatever. So anyway, officials of the U.S. Department of Justice said in the court filings that Abbas, that's Hushpuppi, disclosed during interrogation that he paid bribes to the DCP Kyari, yeah, please forgive me, to have one of his fraudster rivals, Kelly Chibuzo Vincent, arrested and jailed in Nigeria following a dispute over the sharing of a $1.1 million dupe of a Qatari business person, and for exposing their identities to the victim. That's Vincent exposing their identities and not willing to share that money the way Hushpuppi wanted the money to be shared. So Abbas, which is Hushpuppi, stated that DCP Kyari sent pictures of Vincent in jail to him and subsequently sent his bank account number to him, to which a wire transfer should be made, having done a good job. Reacting on Thursday, However, DCP Kyari, is that the way you called it? Kyari. Denied collecting $1.1 million bribe or any bribe for that matter from Abbas. In a Facebook post, DCP Kyari said that he only assisted Hushpuppi, that is Abbas, to get native clothes and caps worth 300,000 naira. Yeah, so first of all, he did not deny that he has links with Hushpuppi. He did not deny that he received money. Amount right now inconsequential, so he however admitted arresting Vincent as well, but claimed that he was released on bail to go and was not taken to jail. So this is part of what he said. Excuse me. So he wrote friends on Facebook. Friends.
Anyway, let me just continue.
So he wrote friends. Abbas, who we later came to know as Hushpuppi, called our office about 2 years ago that somebody in Nigeria seriously threatened to kill his family here in Nigeria, and he sent the person's phone number and pleaded that we take action before the person attacks his family. We traced and arrested the suspect, and after investigation, we discovered that there was not an actual threat to anyone's life, and they are longtime friends who have money issues between them. Hence, we released the suspect on bail to go, and he was not taken to any jail. This according to him. So he goes on to say that nobody demanded a kobo from Hushpuppi. Our focus was to save people's lives that were purported to have been threatened. Then later, he saw some of my natives. This part is just the killer one on social media right now. I said later, he saw some of my native clothes and caps on a social media page. He said he likes them, and he was connected to the person selling the clothes, and he sent about 300,000 naira directly to the person's account, not to his account. The native clothes and caps, 5 sets, were brought to our office, and he sent somebody to collect them in our office. Nobody demanded any money from Abbas Hushpuppi, and nobody collected any money from him. Two things that social media has raised. First of all, they talked about the fact that nobody has seen Hushpuppi wear any native. This is a Gucci master.
Since 2012.
Exactly. This is a Gucci, big brands in the world, Rolls Royce guy. So this was suspicious here. Then the part I brought out, I'm like, when did we get to the place in Nigeria where you call police? Even you in Nigeria here, we all know that if you take your 2 legs, me, I've experienced that one, when they rob the office then, you take your 2 legs and go to the police. The way they drag their legs that day, first of all, then I had to carry them. I had to get fuel still, before they sluggishly even moved there and didn't even do anything. So what made the Nigerian police get a phone call from outside the country? You don't even know this person, because he claimed that at that time he did not know that this was Hushpuppi. So you get a phone call and you guys moved without any mobilization. Anyway,
I think DCP Kyari is being this is his first response. I feel like if he had maybe taken some time.
That's what I want to say. Did he respond too fast?
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, because more details are coming out. You understand?
There's a warrant of arrest right now. I heard
the details of their chats and their phone calls.
It's coming out.
Is out as well. What do they call them? Online news platform, People's Gazette.
They
has
have
published that. With dates and everything. Do you understand? So,
is there something implicating that you saw? Is there over familiarity that you saw?
Yeah, because in that transcript, or what do they call them?
What's the transcript of the text message, isn't it?
There's audio.
There's audio message.
So there were audio messages sent in between the chats. You understand? So, what do they call it now? People's Gazette has transcribed some of those audio distance and attached some of the text messages and whatnot. You understand? And But this thing is not coming from a Nigerian court. That's something I want us to understand. It's coming from the United States.
Thorough investigation.
Exactly. And if you lie under oath, it's extra problem in the United States. It's not like Nigeria here where anything
he's trying
goes.
to plead deal with them. So
exactly.
I don't think he will be taking any chances.
You get so I feel very I don't know, happy, I guess. Because this is
embarrassed.
No, we've been talking about this for a while, yes. Every time we've talked about how youngsters are picked up by the police and how they are profiled and who is profiling the corrupt people in our own institutions. You understand? If somebody as respected, as revered as Kyari can find his hand in this type of situation, our only super cop. We don't have any other one. We don't have another one. We don't have another. This is like our Sherlock Holmes. You understand? We don't have any other one. And this is so. I think it's just very, very messy. And in the next by Monday, by Monday, the truth would have settled. Everybody will know who did really what. I have a feeling that there'll be more.
This is very embarrassing, especially for everything that we're dealing with then internationally right now, like our police force. And you're finding out that this is one of the best that we have. So what do we expect from the worst?
Allegedly in corruption.
Yeah. Then the response from the IGP, the IGP just released a statement yesterday night. We got the press release. There's no suspension. And I highlighted in our title there, I said IGP refuses to suspend. And even if they don't suspend you that know the truth, this Kyari guy, you know the truth that we don't even know. You step down. You excuse yourself. I think we care too much about image here. They care too much about image. Everybody's trying to keep this profile. Meanwhile, we're dealing with America right now. This is not where you can hide things under the rug.
It's not the first time. It's not the first time. We've had ministers who have been accused of different things, and they're still there.
And we
have 7 senators accused of different. They're still there. We have people coming out of prison to contest for election and going back into prison and coming back again to hold the office and whatnot. It's
crazy. From the IG statement, I was disappointed. They said they won't start an internal investigation, but they do investigation abroad as well. But the first thing you do is to excuse yourself. If you don't excuse yourself, they excuse you. Then we do investigation.
I think
police should know that there's more to this because I believe they must have called him. They must have seen the People's Gazette. Even above People's Gazette, Nigerian police force should have more access to the U.S. Department of Justice.
You would expect that.
Exactly.
Expect that.
So this is very, very shameful. So I
feel like this Hushpuppi thing has come to the point where certain things will be demystified for us. One is the young people who are looking at this as the only legitimate way to make money. You understand?
Yeah.
The internet is so vast. The tech industry is growing at such an alarming rate that anything you apply yourself to do in 2 to 3 years, if you're consistent with that thing, you start making the money and you make it a hard currency. So you don't even need to steal. You understand? Now that's one part of it. The other part of it is what we look at as integrity in this country.
Yeah.
You understand? When Hushpuppi was accused of these things, there are different people that also came out to try and defend him. You understand? As more details started coming out, these people started withdrawing their support. You understand? It's the same thing that I feel is going on with Kyari right now. An allegation has been made, and everybody has shown their hand. Okay, no, we are supporting this guy. This guy, he's not stepping down. Where's the integrity?
Exactly.
Where's the integrity? What are we as a people? These are the times that you know what we actually stand for. We as a people, do we tolerate this type of behavior? My answer is yes.
We do. Because action speaks louder than words. If we don't, people will see. If the system does not, the outside world will see as well. Because they are privy to the news in Nigeria now. They know that nothing has happened to this guy. We have not even heard that he has been summoned. We're just hearing internal interrogation or investigation or whatever. I'm not impressed. I think we can do better.
If he's been fingered in receiving proceeds of this crime, he's definitely going to be summoned there. They're going to find a way to ask him to come and appear in court there. I don't know whether Nigeria has that kind of arrangement with America to send its own public officials.
Because I heard there's a warrant already. I don't know how true that is for the FBI guys. But you need to be there because they can't force you to come. Exactly. They can invite you. Exactly. But let's see though if the system here protects him. Like by leaving him in office. Because by leaving him in office and thinking that this will die, no case dies in America
the reason why in developed countries they try to say remove yourself from the position, remove yourself from that place so that the investigation can be carried out, is that as long as you are in the system, there are certain pieces of information that if you were outside the system and that investigation was going on independently and transparently, there are certain bits of information that you would not hear. But imagine where somebody is working, he's a deputy commissioner of police. So imagine the level of information that he has access to. So it means that even if there's a whisper, he can know and go and cover his tracks before Bege busts. You understand? So this is the reason, and it is why, for me, I feel like the optics very, very important. Do you understand? I feel like even as a people, leave these people who are our leaders and whatnot. The way we have even gone about the whole thing, you notice that the whole Kyari, the slander that Kyari has received online has mostly been tribalistic. You understand? It is not from a moral standpoint where we say, no, we don't tolerate this type of behavior. That's not, we are not saying that. Instead, we are saying he belongs to so and so tribe. You see? So I don't know, I'm not...
Then joking about the tailor thing as well, and fashion designer thing as well.
No, but you know that everybody, let me just add to that. Everybody needs a side hustle. You understand? DCP Kyari, if his job is...
Deputy Commissioner of Police. No.
Man must work.
and how do you even get too familiar with somebody that just called you already, then they're calling you to on the number? They will not do that to us.
Yeah,
you can't just say, a deputy commissioner of police that you're Taylor, whatever. They will not bring in the clues to your office there. And you didn't take anything.
The text messages.
No, this guy said he didn't take anything. No, this one, he didn't even say he took 100,000.
Did he say?
And you're doing boy because you are literally doing boy for him.
In the
for
text,
nothing.
He was actually replying, Hushpuppi, yes, bro. Yeah, sure, of course. I'm serious. You should see that report.
That they met, They're not pictures yet that they met each other.
No, it's unlikely considering the fact that
Hushpuppi never came.
Exactly, and he had been on the run for a bit. So anything that would have compromised the situation would have been.
And for you to be doing yes, bro. Come on, man. We're Nigerians, so we should stop playing, man. You know.
We know what happens.
We know, I beg. We should stop fooling ourselves. I think people should be humble enough, when you have been caught. That's not the time to still hold your shoulders up. Just drop your shoulders and be
we don't have integrity.
Man.
We don't have integrity.
Yep. I need to do something bend your mic a bit.
Face to face me.
Yeah. From
like
there.
This.
Exactly.
Is this enough?
A bit.
I should keep going.
A bit. All right. That's the way you're speaking.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move from this one, Abi. Anyway, we wish the DCP the best of luck, I don't know.
Unfortunately, we don't have him to investigate this case for us. We are sure he would have solved it.
Right.
So, who knows? Maybe this is an opportunity for another.
The best of luck. I just advise, and there's one topic we're going to talk about later. The same Nigerian police telling us to stop tempting them with
FRSC.
Police joined too now.
They
were there.
Statement,
They don't want bribe, and a few days later, there's bribery. These are not be small bribes.
All the way from the top, These are the kind of guys that refer to as Oga at the top.
Lord God have mercy. Anyway, let's go. So the Department of State Security Services, as the DSS, failed to produce the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, that's IPOB. People call it IPOB. Some say IPOB. IPOB. Whatever. Nnamdi Kanu in court on Monday after keeping the judge and the lawyers waiting for over 3 hours. They cited logistics as the reason why they could not produce him physically in court. This has led to so much tension in the country, especially in the southeast region of the country, and a series of threats from IPOB members and other groups sympathetic to Kanu. Then I also saw a report today. I saw it on YouTube though. Then I tried to send it to my writer to get me more details on it, but he said he could never find it. So there was a statement from Kanu's lawyer, but I remember on Monday, after they could not see their client, they said they were going to arrange to go there on Thursday. That's to the DSS office. Excuse me. So I saw a long statement. I saw it on one of those Igbo groups. I don't know, Igbo channels on YouTube. So they said they were not granted access to see him still on Thursday, after following the whole due process. And there was a court order where the judge ordered that they should allow them see him. I think she gave a couple of days or something. So I don't know. What do you think is going on with Kanu in the DSS custody? Why do you think they're hiding him? Do you think this is intentional? Because on Monday as well, you know, there were so many supporters that came out. Roads were blocked in Abuja. You know, people were waiting to just sight their eyes on him because we've heard rumors. There are different rumors. They say, oh, he has been tortured in DSS custody. The normal lawyers don't easily even have access to him. Some even said he may have been killed, but I don't know. Like IPOB released that on their own, so I'm not the one saying. They said maybe,
until we're able to confirm
exactly. But I'm just saying, like, why do you think, like, on Monday, what's the purpose of keeping the judge waiting?
It was never about the judge or IPOB or Nigerians and our sentimentality. I said this last week that I had a feeling that IPOB will go the same way as the IMN.
The dragation, yeah?
Exactly. I talked about the protests and I said it would be very important to watch closely how things unfold. And it looks as if things are already unfolding in that particular line. Do you understand? Now, just like Zakzaky, the DSS has failed to produce him in court. You understand? This was the same thing that happened in the beginning of Zakzaky's trial in early 2016. Do you understand? This was the same thing that happened, and it went on for a while, for long periods of time, that we even thought at some point the protesters were going to give up and, you know, stay at home until one day that Buhari will feel like it and release this guy, Zakzaky. So I feel like this is still part of the language. I know that it looks as if I'm giving a simple answer, but it is still part of the language. Now,
they will understand.
That they would understand, yes. And the reason I'm saying this is that, to a large extent, the way this administration sees people who have gone in that line, people who they've killed, they've claimed as their enemies, is that you cannot disrespect us and expect to enjoy the full benefit of the law. This is why Nigeria has a lot of human rights cases against it. I saw a journalist on, I think, Arise TV today saying that it is possible that this current set of leaders are going to be the most arraigned in either the AU court or the Hague after the administration is out. You understand? So when you look at all of these things, it shows as well that the Nigerian government does not care about its own laws. You're supposed to provide this guy in court, no matter bad as he bad. Exactly. The worst governments have done their bits to produce the people that they're prosecuting in court. Why aren't you doing that? And the funny thing is, it's not just about not bringing him to court. You're daring the young people who are in the southeast to do their worst.
And you're showing public disregard and disrespect to the judiciary. That is supposed to be an independent arm of government.
Nothing is independent in Nigeria anymore.
Then I just want to say, why did they waste time blocking the roads now? What was all the paparazzi about? Why are you blocking the roads? They prevented, because they knew they were not bringing this guy. You know, you knew you were not bringing the guy. Different other lawyers were complaining that they traveled from different states, you know, to come to Abuja. They had cases in court that day. They were prevented from going into the courtroom. So if you knew that you were not going to produce this guy, why make people waste their time? You know, why did you block the road?
The question I want to ask,
even if they were going to produce Kanu, this just came to my head right now, so let me just get it out there. Even if you're going to produce Kanu in court, even on that day, can that not go on and other normal proceedings still go on? You know, can't you bring him in the most safest way, still put your security and wherever, and every other person can go on with their business of the day? I did not like the fact at all, you know, that they have to start shutting down courtrooms and stuff. Like, come on, man, so we can do better.
I think it is all part of the script. Do you understand? Now, if I didn't even follow the news on Monday. It was days after that I started to read what had happened. The Nigerian government chose to give the case the kind of profile that it got. Do you understand? If you decided that, listen, the integrity of our courts arena is going to be maintained, there will be no breach of peace or whatever around this. It's a Maitama, you understand, a very busy and choked place, you understand. If you had gone about it like that, if you had thought to yourself, okay, listen, we don't want to give this guy more publicity that he already
because
had.
it just
Let's
attracted
de-escalate everything.
Exactly.
Instead, you have gone on to not produce him in court. You have created a whole block, the barricade this side, barricade that side. You have given him the perception in some people's minds, people that were probably not even engaged in this whole Kanu thing.
Pay attention.
But it is when the president is passing that we normally see places closed.
Exactly.
So how do they see Kanu exactly in this administration? How do they see Kanu? Is he actually as strong as he says he is?
Exactly, and I like that your point.
I really don't understand.
They are the ones making it look as big as it is.
Exactly.
Because even before Monday, there was so much press releases that this and this, don't show up. It's gonna be blocked. This and this, that. I'm like, come on, man. He's a normal. I see him as a normal person. Like, take him to court. Let everything still go on peacefully.
Yeah.
You know, if people are coming to protest, there's a way you can handle that and still maintain peace. Let's start blocking the road, like then stopping lawyers from accessing courtroom for cases that they traveled all the way to come.
I feel bad. I feel bad for the lawyers,
exactly.
And I also want to find. I'd like to ask one of them. What made you think that Kanu will be presented in court?
No, not even their lawyers. Other lawyers that had other cases.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, those ones. Yeah, I feel bad for those ones. The ones for Kanu's lawyers, I wonder what made them think that
they will produce him in court. Yeah, I was waiting for this update the whole day until the judge.
When we're talking about it last week, there was a point that came up. I can't even remember what it was, but it was about this delusion still. Do you understand? If you're waiting to engage this particular administration on the terms known to everybody, you will shoot yourself in the foot. Honestly, you will have to. I think you will have to adapt per time, per engagement. You understand? This is the same thing. This is the same trajectory that the IMN, the Sheikh Leader took. This is the same trajectory.
And we said the last leg, they're just going to drag this thing. So, but the thing, I think the thing with us though, and I find that happening with me as well, we tend to give the government benefit of doubt.
Why?
At every point I don't know, man.
So
maybe it's just being optimistic of that change that we're hoping will come one day, of repentance.
Yeah, so logically speaking, it is not possible. It is not possible. If I have been a crook my whole life, it is wrong of you to give me the benefit of the doubt that I will not be a crook.
You can repent now, but they say the only constant thing in life.
Okay, so sir, while change is constant, there's always a turning point that creates change. Do you understand?
So something needs to happen.
Exactly. The Newton's first law of motion says that an object will remain static or continue moving unless acted upon by an external force. Do you understand? So if you leave this thing here, it's going to remain here. Nothing will happen to it. So think about it as a human being. This is this person's personality. This is this person's character. Nothing will change it until an external force comes and says, "Oh God, this is not good enough."
Right.
So at what point have you seen that external force act on any of our leaders?
Wow.
Our
Baba is in London, and he said that if you miss education, you have missed everything in life.
So should we talk about that?
That's not our topic, though.
Yeah, it's not. But let's just talk about it here. So
they have dragged the guy for it though, because it's like that's why he has missed everything
in
life.
Do you know the funny thing? All the other leaders that spoke there were discussing policies. They were talking about thematic areas in their policies. Some of them were targeting primary school education. Some were targeting secondary school education. Some were discussing infrastructure. Our president's first cracked some jokes.
Talked about the population.
And I didn't see what was funny. You understand? But I would have expected that a president in whose country bandits, insurgents, kidnappers are stopping children from going to school. We'll talk about security.
About that one.
Now, listen. Under the last administration, after the Chibok girls wahala, Okonjo-Iweala, I can't remember, with some foreign, I think some development finance institutions, launched this policy, this open school policy. The whole idea was to make sure the schools were safe enough for children to be in school round the year. No interruption. So even if other places were dying, like people were dying in other places, keep our schools open and keep our schools safe.
Yeah.
Nothing about that. So our president had the chance to direct
to cry for help.
Exactly, and tell people the specific areas where he wanted them to help.
You're talking like infrastructure is crying. Like we just heard, there was a news recently that in Kaduna State, flood, 1,500 buildings gone. And we have seen the schools in the north. I think we're at the point, we have actually been at this point a long time ago, but you can't go outside. It's just like somebody suffering in their house. You know, you're broke in your house. You know that you need help. And you gather in your circle of friends that can actually help you. And you're posing like that.
No, he wasn't really posing. He was just asking for a plate of rice, irrespective of what was going on at home. So it's fine. It's fine. I didn't expect. The funny thing here, I was even surprised that he actually spoke. Okay. Because I didn't know who was going to. Oshibajo was not there to translate.
To him speaking,
Oshibajo was not there to.
I'm always very nervous because I'm like, okay, don't say one. Like, yeah, like, don't spoil. They still found something fault in whatever he said. Like, I'm like, okay, though, like, Baba is trying. They said Baba went to London because of us, you know, and they said we should be appreciative. That's because what of who? Minister of State for Education
Oga went for his medical checkup.
We need to be
let's not lie. Yeah. Let's not lie. Oga went for medical checkup. This one was just a bonus on the road.
And he did not stay at Abuja House according to reports.
We already let him stay in Abuja House.
Exactly. We just don't want to address all those things today. Yeah, let's not be like we're just dragging Baba, but there's too much going on. So let's go, man. So on Wednesday, you were just talking about this right now. On Wednesday, the Kaduna State High Court dismissed the criminal charges filed by the Governor Nasir El-Rufai state government against the leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, that's IMN, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife Zeenat. In a ruling that lasted for over 8 hours, the presiding judge, Justice Gideon Kurada, upheld the no-case submission filed by the counsel to Sheikh El-Zakzaky and his wife. So that's Femi Falana SAN. So for those that don't know, no-case submission means so the prosecution has presented their case. The defense, they don't feel like the prosecution has established any relevant case against them. So there's nothing to defend. So they say no case submission, there's no case to answer. So that's what that means. So let me go on my notes. So the judge in his ruling held that the prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case against the defendants in all the charges of alleged culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disruption of public peace leveled against them by the Kaduna State government. So I read more detailed into this judgment. So what they basically said, what the judge said, is that the charges that are filed, that they preferred against them, wherever they say he committed as crime, was not yet in law a crime as at the time. They committed them. So after that, they now made laws. I think in 2017, 2018, they made laws that were criminalizing those. So the law is not retroactive in nature. So that's what it said. So another update is that state government has dragged them to court again for treasonable felony. But anyway, let's leave that one though. So these are, you talked about El-Zakzaky's case earlier. So we have come to a place right now where the court has dismissed this charge. So there's no case against you. Go home. He has been released right now. We heard this in Abuja right now, receiving medical care and for safety purposes as well with his wife. What do you think about this judgment? What does this mean for those other people like Nnamdi Kanu that are suffering the same fate? And does the judgment mean anything? Can we put anything on this? Because right now, like I said earlier, they have dragged him back to court again.
I don't know if there's, if you put ourselves in the position of Zakzaky and his wife or their followers, this is a bit of relief, you understand? After 5 years of non-stop protests, after 5 years of killings and injuries and whatnot to these young people, you understand? The police coming down hard on them, they themselves losing their cool and going ahead to attack police and whatnot. You would reason that this is some kind of relief, although temporary. Do you understand? Because the nature in the first place of Zakzaky's arrest, all of these things were not done within the ambit of the law. You understand? If they are going back to court again, they just I feel like it is going to be a 7-year, 8-year show of power. from the Kaduna State government, the federal government against El-Zakzaky and his followers. I feel like that's just what's going to happen. Of course, I don't want to, because I don't practice Islam, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of what we have heard and read about what the power balance between the two sects that appear to be clashing at this point. That's not really my business, you understand? What I'm just saying is their antecedents so far show that the law cannot stop them from doing anything. El-Zakzaky was released on bail some time ago. What's his name? The former NSA, Sambo Dasuki as well, Nnamdi Kanu as well. At different points in time, they were all granted bail and whatnot, and the government said no. You understand? So I feel like, yes, they have this reprieve now. I don't know how they're going to brace themselves for the next one, but whatever strength that he has, he will need to put it to keep that together, and as much as possible, try to make sure that the lives of the young people who are following him are not perpetually in danger. Do you understand? Because this is what I was saying about the Kanu situation. At this point, you need to de-escalate everything. Any situation you find yourself in that has the propensity for violence, the government should try its best to de-escalate these situations. You understand? Get into a bargain with El-Zakzaky. Tell your people to not come to the streets. We are going to play fair this time around. Something like that. Do you understand? Dialogue, exactly. If we are actually deliberate about this leadership thing, if it's not just a pissing context, whose dick is bigger than the other, then we will actually get some things done. It's true. We'll actually get some things done.
Though, what I want to say something earlier. So I'm like, okay, this case shows that the judiciary actually has some power, and the judiciary is not always compromised, Yeah, and I believe even if they're moving forward with the treasonable felony, the judiciary can show power as well again, And another thing that came another thing that came up as well is that they can actually sue right now. They can sue the government, because I was seeing reports of the government killing allegedly some of his people. I even heard some of his children were killed allegedly.
So over 300 corpses were buried in a mass grave
for human rights abuses.
There's
and all
so
those
much
things.
to go.
There's so much you can sue the government for, and I want them to take action. It's not like tit for tat. It's not like costing more trouble or whatever. Like, it's your right. If you're right, if you suffer damages, you have a right. So I want them to take that step against the Kaduna State government.
In this ruling, because I'm asking this now because you mentioned that it's good to see judiciary not being compromised and whatnot. In this ruling, was there anything said for compensation for the time?
I didn't see that. No, but so the court will not give you what you did not ask for. That's another thing in law, you know, because it's not just going to sit down there and give you compensation if you never ask for the compensation.
Okay, so do they have the chance to go back?
They can. That's what I'm saying. They can sue. It's just like you being arrested falsely right now. When your case is over, you can sue. Especially when you had victory.
Please let me not be arrested.
No, you will not be arrested.
My brother, it's Nigeria. We should not be playing with certain things.
Me that was arrested. I'm here. Even if I face my skirt.
I just feel like if they arrest me, but that's all I'm done. I don't think I have any power to survive this, to play prison waiting and find my way out.
Thank you.
Sorry?
Don't show that weakness on camera.
Please, you should just know. I can't do it. I can't do anything you want to. I'll tell you. I can't do it.
So let's see them though. That's if they want to, because they actually have the right. It's good that you ask. They have the right to sue and claim damages for wrongful arrest, for violation of human rights, for anything they want to sue for. If they want to even, and I wanted to say okay, because that's against the state right now. So if we're saying the state allegedly killed your people,
it's the military actually that killed the people.
It's part of the state.
I think in El-Zakzaky's suits, the state, Kaduna State government and the military are the respondents. So that's what they call them.
No, they are the ones I'm suing. They're the prosecution.
No, there's the.
Is El-Zakzaky
suing? Sorry, it was in the judicial panel. It's in the judicial panel. Yeah, when they were talking about, that was when we found out about the over 350 people buried in mass graves. His children were among. In that initial raid in December, I think December 5th, or was it 5th or 15th, 2015. His children were killed there. 2 of his sons were killed in that raid. They finished. They arrested the father, arrested the mother, put them in prison, and
there's no way you can go for that war though. except you're going civilly, because that's no longer civil, that's crime, like murder, you know, is, you know, I don't know the defense the government will have for that one though, but civilly, they have an opening to go to court and ask for anything they want to ask for in terms of monetary damages and whatnot. So it's not up to them, but we'll watch and see how it plays out, especially with these new charges by the state government still as well, you know, but I hope all these things, you know, will subside. Let's start talking about, you know, this bridge that they're building, the fifth mainland bridge in the best in the world.
To be honest, I don't even want to discuss bridges.
Let's talk about.
I want to discuss policies, because for me, what it shows is where your leaders are thinking.
It's part of development. You understand? When you have China, they have the fastest train in the world that look like one cobra.
They started from somewhere. They did it because of some kind of industrialization.
And China, you will do those three. And send these ones to us. They say that the one when we ask for, they give us.
But then, now you know that they are Nigeria's masters now, so just calm down.
All right, let me calm down so they will not collect all the debt from me.
Nobody asked you to come and pay.
Anyway, let's move on here. So the Nigerian Police Force and Federal Road Safety Corps have called on Nigerians to stop tempting. They use the word tempting. Stop tempting their officers on duty with bribes, which they may not be able to resist. I added that one because most times, temptation, you know, for something to be tempting.
Because
exactly, that means it's not hard to. It's not easy to resist. Okay. So they also urge the public to report any officer who demands for bribe from them to the appropriate authorities. I don't know where those authorities are. I don't know what they are still as well. So the two federal agencies were among participants at a one-day virtual stakeholders dialogue on effective and sustainable strategies for curbing retail corruption, organized by the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, PACAC. So the Executive Secretary of PACAC, Professor Sadiq Rada, said that citizens have a role to play in ending petty retail corruption, most of which come in the form of bribery. You know, he stated that he believes retail corruption can be reduced when citizens are law-abiding and comply with rules when institutions play their roles effectively. Let me lay my argument.
This is you and you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. So please continue.
No, let me lay my argument where I believe in this, where we play a role. Let's give an example right now of these stop and check for paper. Most times I've wondered, even like when I was going up with my mom's here, when I started driving, there's this thing in our house, my mom did not like to renew her papers, you know, but because she was like an NPC staff, when they stop her, she finds a way out. Until one day they stopped me here in this Abuja, and I was rushing somewhere. My day, I left the car with them and went to where I was going, and I called my I'm like, and VI or road safety, they have to carry the car, please go and figure out. That's when we started renewing our papers, you know. So I'm giving that example to say, like, I've wondered why. Okay, you're driving on the road right now. You see VI or road safety. You see the cabs start reversing, running away. You know, you don't have your papers. Why can't we have our papers? Because I believe if we all have our papers, I'm giving an example of this one right now. If we all have our vehicle papers, you have your fire extinguisher, in fact, have your basket, example waste paper basket inside car, have everything, you know, there will be no need for you to want to negotiate. Right now, when a VI or road safety guy stops me, or even police, ID card, I say driver's license, papers, so confidently, we're not talking about any other thing. Sometimes you see them feeling a bit embarrassed that there's no market here, and they will just tell you.
I'm glad that you said that there's no market here, because until now, it felt as if it's the citizens.
No, but they admitted and said they were tempting them. It's still temptation. Person will not really get
come on, man. Before they get tempted, the ones that stop people search their phones, see
that's
cryptocurrency.
I give one
see
example.
Cryptocurrency apps and take them to the ATM, withdraw all their money, and then if they shout, they will take care of them and go. How far with those ones? What do we do with them?
That's not Does that fall into this category of the bribery?
Bribery, can you actually separate bribery and extortion? You can't. Bribery is me, I'm giving you, or you're asking for it. Extortion is that you're asking for it forcefully. These two things are together.
Yeah. Okay.
These two things are together. And we understand our Nigerian society. It is such a way that even if you have everything intact, I remember there was a time I was going to work, then my office at Maitama. VIO's work is to ambush drivers.
I hate those ones.
So I feel like it is a transaction between the people and their police force and their FRSC people. For a long time now, FRSC have behaved with a different standard compared to all the others VIO and Nigerian police put together. You find yourself in trouble on the road. If you ask road safety for help, they'll actually help you. VIO will tell you, hey, oh, your car broke down, let's help you push it to the side. As they're pushing it to the side, they're towing it. They're towing it. You get to their yards. You get to their yards, whether you have valid excuse or not, they have a system to deflate your tires very quickly, so that when you are leaving, you will pay the guy that keeps the gate for where your cars are. You will pay the vulcanizer 200 naira per tire. Something that outside of that place is 15 naira. You will pay those guys. By the time you are done paying for penalty charge and waiting, you realize that it's market. It's market.
Crazy. There's even one that I don't know. Okay, that's not. Is that road safety? I don't know whether it's road safety that even happened. Like they stopped me sometime. Is it last year or wherever? You know. So they said I was holding my phone, not making call because my car has a Bluetooth. You know, you don't put. So you know when you stop and you're like bored, so you hold the phone. You probably want to scroll through or wherever. They said that one was an offense
because your car was on.
I didn't drag too much though, so I went to their office. They gave me whatever I went to pay,
5K.
You know, just coming back confidently to collect my stuff. They say I didn't go for medical evaluation.
Mental evaluation.
Exactly. Mental, 18,000, whatever. You know, okay, let's even leave that one. There's one that happened recently. So I was driving around, you know, and I stopped to buy corn. I packed well. I packed. Yeah, so it's not a matter of you didn't pack. So this one was not even road safety or VIO, they said municipal, whatever. They just drove in one green cab and just, I was sitting confidently because I'm like, I didn't do anything. Why this one's here? Those ones say where I parked, I'm supposed to on my double traffic.
Your hazard light.
30,000. So when I was driving with the guys to their office, you know, so that's what I really want to talk about. I was asking them, you know, if you would say this place is not a parking zone or whatever,
there was a sign.
You didn't put any sign.
Without a sign, they can't collect any money from you.
You didn't put any sign. So what I argue with them is like, you guys are trying to set us up.
That's
not the way the society is supposed to be.
So,
you know, when you travel abroad, if there's no parking here, it's clearly written, no parking, so that when you go and park, because I told him, some people might not be, you might live here or you may not even live here. If you're coming to an area you're not really familiar with, you will not know what goes and what does not go. If you already know based on you're familiar with the place, that's a different ball game. So there should be something to inform people. You know, don't just wait for, we're all human beings. Don't just be looking for me to fuck up, basically.
It is the ambush that I'm talking about now. It's the ambush. Now, if they say, do not bribe us with bribes that we cannot, do not make us offers that we cannot resist. That thing made me laugh when I saw it. You understand? If they're saying that, can they become genuinely
because even that one
helpful
there was bribing this, you know. In fact, they even ask for the bribe self.
Of course not. Of course, they don't want you to reach their office. They want you to settle them on the road
because that one we enter
so that
their
they share their money. Yes,
exactly. You know, but at the end of the day, help us to help you, though, and we can still try. We still have our part. That's why I lay down that first part. You know, especially when it comes to vehicle particulars and stuff. Get your driver's license. It doesn't cost anything. You know, renew your papers. You know, but they want to target you sometimes. See one searching under my.
I was trying to tell you. Hold on now. I was trying to tell you about.
Expire.
It was my spare tire. All the others were valid.
This one was targeting me.
That was the first day I was resuming work. I will now go enter office by 1 p.m. waiting because VIO. No God, it's not good.
Nah, sometimes they're just wicked when you're acting confidently and bullshit. They will start looking for one thing. Come on,
it's
man.
not
we can do better.
And the reason why
I said, they say fire extinguisher don't expire, self.
The reason why I said blah 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 when you were reading this thing is is one thing. We've heard how many IGPs come and tell us that the police is being rebranded. Some of them will waste money.
Police radio station, we never hear of their radio station.
Doing billboards, in some cases setting up phantom radio stations, doing all sorts of. It is not in that, sir. See, it is from our homes. Where we decide that our trash should not be another person's problem. We take responsibility for what is ours. You understand? So you have trash in your house, you've packed it. Have you put it decently into a dustbin for the environmental people to come and pick it up? Do you understand? Have you done your bits to make sure that the way you use your house is not causing another person harm? It's from there. Those are the building blocks of a functional society. You understand? Where you realize that, okay, this thing has so and so effect, and then you do your best to limit that injury to another person.
Exactly.
No, in Nigeria, we don't care. If you want to play music now, you can blast music. Whether someone is sleeping upstairs, you paid for what you're using, and that's it. Do you understand?
Sometimes I'm guilty of that one.
It's beyond this talk.
Yeah,
you understand?
I think what you're basically saying is thinking beyond yourself. I think we need to start thinking about our neighbors. How does this affect the other person? Even in friendships, whatever. We need to start thinking beyond ourselves. Think about yourself, though. Make sure you are good, but make sure there's that saying that where your right ends, another person's right begins, basically. Anyway, on to our final topic. So a chieftain of the APC in Benue State, Tehemba Sheikh.
Where do you find these people from? Where do you find these people from?
Abeko, leave this report.
Where do you find
so when they talk trash, I bring you and we address you. Yeah, simple. So has said that President Muhammadu Buhari has achieved what no other Nigerian president has achieved in just 6 years, lamenting that other negative happenings in the country tend to overshadow the president's great achievements.
Wow,
He stated that President Buhari has executed many legacy projects.
Very true.
What am I writing here?
Despite the security challenges.
Yeah, despite the security challenges in the country, stressing that the administration has recorded significant achievements in infrastructure, education, and the economy, as well as its anti-corruption campaign. So this is what he said, part of what he said. I don't care about the rest. So he said Buhari has done very well in many areas. Some areas he started very well, but other things overshadowed his performance in such areas. On the whole, I can say that President Buhari has done what no other Nigerian president has been able to do in the last 6 years.
I agree.
However, along the line, different forms of security challenges rear their heads in the northwest, north central, and subsequently southwest and southeast. Why are you laughing?
In the whole country, that's what he
means. Here, Henry.
Is the whole country? That's what he's talking about. So this is also read their head. That's how they read their head across the whole country.
Subsequently, that's like last year, early this year.
No shit.
Southwest,
it's just last year.
Southwest, no interview.
Just last year.
Not this year, Southwest.
No, okay. Since 2016. No, it's since 2016. The insecurity. See, Igboho is a response for what had been going on.
For the cup overflowing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but Herukwa, looking. Yeah. I was just thinking recently because I was in Lagos. I saw the train station. Is it not a train station? I mean, bus terminal. So I still think it's a waste of money because even in London, bus stations don't look like that. It's too much. It's train stations that look like that. Don't be the boss station.
Is it the one that has the panels falling out?
No, the beautiful one I went to commission. That one that we said is the biggest in West Africa. I've been waiting.
Okay.
It's too big. It looks good though. But in terms of infrastructure, I'm just saying, could it be that if there was no insecurity, let's say there was security in the country, okay, insecurity is not just the worst thing though, because the economy is bad though. Economy is bad.
It's not as if insecurity just likes us by itself.
Economy
is that's feeding insecurity.
You saw the video about plantain, 6.5 now. You were never talking about the dollar. I didn't want to talk about that BDC thing today because it was very technical.
My friend dashed me a bunch of plantain. My colleague dashed me a bunch of plantain.
You won't talk now.
Plantain and dollar, which are big pass. Wait, calm down. She just a bunch of plantain and a tuber of yam. I almost kissed her. I'm telling you, my colleague, I almost kissed her.
How much is yam though? I've not
the tuber that she gave me should be like 2K, 3K.
For one?
Yes.
Wow. No, so I wanted to ask though, but as I was trying to ask the question, some things were already coming in. I wanted to, like, if insecurity, because it's insecurity you talked about, but I think I've answered the question already. Like, other things are still bad. Because even the education that I think it's just infrastructure I can give to them, which I cannot fully, I can just give them in terms of transport. Because if we're talking about infrastructure, it's very wide. You know, like, it's very wide. Like, is it that secretariat you're telling me about infrastructure? Like,
which one secretariat?
Secretary went on that for the national secretary.
Okay.
No, which infrastructure? There's no new road in Abuja, Seth. You know, that's what I'm saying. Mostly transport, of which even the transport, Seth. When China, they're having the fastest trains in the world, we have the slowest ones in the world. You know? No, I wanted to argue for these people, that maybe these things they cover.
So you don't believe me to say anything. Me, the part that I agree with, Mr. Tehemba.
Tehemba is
Tehemba.
Oh, Tehemba.
Tehemba is a team man. You understand?
Benway.
Now, I agree with him that in 6 years, Buhari has achieved what no other Nigerian leader has achieved.
No, you don't agree with him because you're talking about something else.
Back-to-back recession.
Come on, man.
The highest number of people killed in
the highest.
Have we
looked at those numbers?
In a non-war period. You know another administration that more people than this have been killed in 6 years in this country.
Have we verified
non-war?
The numbers?
Oga?
Are we not in war as well? Like, this is
please,
non-war.
when our Senate was working earlier this year, members used to come to the Senate. Like, so a senator will prepare his notes with 37 people killed in one attack. By the time he gets inside the chamber, another report has come out of 50 people killed. The senator will now be telling you there that although I prepared my notes with 37 people killed in so and so place, I've only heard recently that another 50 have been killed in so. Yeah. See, so let me just continue listening. Yeah.
That's sad.
The highest number of people.
Sad. Not even funny.
The worst contraction in our economy. Do you understand?
Education, man. People
dilapidation
don't go
of
school again.
the widespread dilapidation of infrastructure. Do you understand? Security collapse around the whole country. Do you understand? Children. Like, we're talking about primary school, secondary school, university children cannot go to school. We already have 13 million out of school. Now, our schools cannot even open for the ones that are already enrolled in schools. So what I'm telling you now is that, sir, in 10, 15 years from now, the effect of those children not being able to go to school now will become the reality for Nigeria. That's one bit of it. Division among the people, like never before. You understand? So yes, I agree with Tehemba that Buhari has achieved what no other president has been able to achieve. Do we want to even go down to the details, the abuse of human rights, and should we really go there? Should we go there? When we have politicians speak, that's what I was asking earlier. Where do you get the stories from? These kind of people are not. They shouldn't be heard. Nobody should listen to what they should be heard
for the dumb nonsense they're saying, so you don't make the mistake and put them back in power because people voted for this person. That's the thing, issue.
That's the thing. If we only choose to highlight the positive ones in our environment, and give very little, just a footnote that there was while this person was being great, there was a fool among his group. You understand? If we do just that, our people will psychologically start to tune themselves to the positive people. Do you understand? Giving them the responsibility of realizing that this person is bad, and then they should come back and no, the Nigerians don't have that attention span. You don't want to keep them, you can't keep a Nigerian person or a group of Nigerians on one topic for a long period of time. It doesn't happen like that. For that's what I was trying to argue the other time about the Lagos Ibadan press and the role of the press in bringing a topic to the fore continuously for people. It is the press that does that. You understand? Nigerians cannot continue. In fact, if the press does it too much, they'll tell the press to go get to it. Now you be the first one. You understand?
Yeah,
so I feel like our strategy needs to change.
I like that.
If we have positive stories in our what do they call it in our discourse? Let's highlight it. We can put a footnote. There was a fool there as well, but let's focus on those ones.
I like that.
Maybe we'll inspire our people
because before now I didn't know who this time, but maybe many people didn't even know who he was.
It's like that guy that during NSAS now that came and could barely stand, and all of a sudden all the news houses in Nigeria assembled in front of him, and you know, we don't need those type of things. We actually don't.
Oh, anyway, that's about that. So, Henry, is there anything you want to talk about before we?
My brother.
What's that?
Our currency is turning to tissue paper.
Oh yeah.
Our currency is turning to tissue paper.
With the bank thing, you know, now they've asked the banks to start selling. I don't know. What do you think? That there are different arguments from different quarters. Some people are trying to make it political. I really don't know. I'm not really a
What do you mean by political?
Like some people are turning to politics. You know, we have people like Deji saying like, oh, they're trying to make it get to 1,000 naira per dollar so that they can have billions for the 2023 campaign.
Elections.
You know,
that's a long stretch. No.
There's an argument though.
Stretch.
And within how many days we have seen it increase like every day.
DG is a political commentator, so it is normal for him to tour that route. But when you're looking at policies, you're looking at the economy, and you know that Nigeria is not existing in a bubble. Do you understand? During the week, the figures for the U.S. economy came out, and it had grown by a certain percentage. Yeah. Basically, what happens is that if your economy grows more than my own, and I'm measuring my economy by your own, the difference of what your own grows by is the difference with which my own shrinks by. Do you understand? Now, our decision to remove BDCs from BDC's licenses to sell, what do they call it, foreign currencies, and them saying that they are going to do all they can to get their licenses back and whatnot. I thought it was more about streamlining the market. You understand? Because when your currency is battling for life like that, what you're supposed to do is to make it shed off whatever weight, anything that's going to pull it down. You understand? But what we've ended up doing now is to choke it. Choke it some more. If you tell BDs how many banks are open, look at, we are dealing with COVID-19 right now. How many people do you see standing? You see a lot of queues in front of banks. So people cannot just waltz in and waltz out the way they used to. That's one. It means that BDCs now are not even available for these people. So the people that we're not seeing at those queues will suddenly come to the front of banks and they'll be queuing to get into the banks. What this means is that before the market closes, the market is measuring how much do people need the dollar. Do you understand? Now, people need the dollar and they cannot get it. The dollar keeps hiking. It keeps hiking.
Inflation, basically.
Immediately. Do you understand? So that's what we are seeing now. You understand? While the banks are trying to understand how they are going to go about, some of them that you had officers that were doing forex transactions and whatnot at banks, some of them had closed it because, well, the market had become what it had become. Now everybody's trying to find how they can put it. What will we be charging? What is this? What is that? What is that? So I feel like, as with many other things, our timing is really, really poor. Really, really poor. And in the build-up to the elections, I don't believe if they just saying that so that they will have dollars and whatnot, the people that they are going to contest against, you think it's Naira that they are using to, are they selling crayfish in the market?
I'm saying like all of them use dollars.
All of them use dollars, you understand? So it's not...
We're not going to get into that details of that. We already know what goes on behind the scene.
I want to continue using this opportunity. We are not doing this thing just because we like it. Our hope is that one way or the other, we can contribute to one or two Nigerians thinking, and we'll get more people who realize how we can actually effect change in our country. You understand? You see a lot of headlines. You see a lot of things going on. We can't bring all of them to the platform.
And we can't just laugh over these issues and not take anything away from them. That's my biggest struggle. So in as much as, because I try to read comments, you know, we should not just joke about this. So
you know the funny thing. You know the funny thing. The way life is normally, what you're doing today is the price you're paying for tomorrow. That's the honest truth about it. Where we are today is the price that we paid for this some years ago. That's why we are where we are. You understand? So if we actually want to see any change in our lifetime, the earlier we wake up, the better. Do you understand?
Hey, Oqua, let me touch on this PDP order. Okay, the reconciliation between Atiku and Wike. You know, what does it mean for the party? When I was in the report, I addressed Atiku as runaway presidential candidate. Like, because he ran away to Dubai for how many years, and you come back just a couple of years to the elections. you know, and from the comments, I have to always give feedback. I think I get feedback from Nigerians from the comments. I see the perception. We did a report yesterday night where he talked about the fact that if PDP comes back, they can get the economy running back again and increase this and increase that and whatever. I said they've done it before, they could do it again. Trust us. You know, when I read those comments, Nigerians don't care. They don't want you, go. We don't want you, go away. You know, so I don't know what PDP is doing behind the scene. I don't know what they're thinking. Why is Atiku here? Why did he have to meet with Wike? What's going on behind the scene? What's the plot? What's the strategy?
I think we are too partisan as a people. Despite the fact that we don't get any of the proceeds of these political tussles, we are too partisan, and I don't even understand it for us. Many of us poor can barely afford a meal to eat, and we are too interested in what PDP is doing, what Nigeria is doing, what APC is doing, and all of that thing. Listen, these people have their rights. It is within their right to contest for office. The moment we make Atiku equal to Nigeria, we have lost the plot. We have lost the plot. Atiku will be Atiku. Atiku's lineage, from now he dies and his grandchildren die, they will still have the money. That's the truth about it. What are we doing about our own lives? What are our own priorities? You understand? Going into the 2023 elections, what are the things that we have said are important to us? Whether as a collective or small groups, have we been able to articulate those things? Have university students come to think about, say, listen, we want to be able to go to school and finish school with good degrees and on time. Have we done that? No, we've not done that. Instead, we are wondering who is going to contest against Buhari in 2023.
This thing actually affect, you know, these things affect the basic human being, you know, like even they go into school, like talking about the student right now, you know, I think they need to think about who is going to ensure that we're safe in schools. We talk about schools not being safe, you know, we've talked about security and all those. So I think knowing or thinking about who you want to be your leader is still very important.
I agree. I agree that, we can think about the short term while we deal with the long term as well. You understand? I agree that we can do these things concurrently. However, if we are, what I was trying to explain is, if our thoughts process or our the way we're going about it, if it was candidate focused, not our interest focused, we'll miss it. You understand? Because this is what happens. Somebody comes out, he's a candidate, and he starts to tell you what he thinks you should have, what he thinks he will do for you. You are the person in your own position. You understand what it is. Market women come out and say, listen, even we who have these products to sell, we cannot. These prices are not sustainable. Even if they buy my own product, I can't buy the next person's product and feed my own family. It's not just about you are selling at higher prices, you are making money. No, it's not just about that. We need a system that can ensure that the vital, essential things that we need as a country are available for us to be able to trade to trade with normally. Do you understand? Now, do we have those groups looking at things like that? No. What we have instead are who will go buy, whose rapper will we tie, whose rapper will we not tie.
Sharing bread, though.
You understand? My brother, they're sharing bread. They're sharing bread. Like, Nigerians actually saw Ghanaians put rice back inside truck and look.
Collecting bread, oh. They're collecting bread.
So you understand what I'm talking about. It is not as much as these leaders have their rights to contest. It is our right to decide whether our interests suit the people who are coming. So see, the moment your interests are education, infrastructure, security, and you're articulating those things, I'm telling you, you see that certain people will no longer appear on your radar as who can be candidates. Do you understand? You start to look at people whose behavior aligns with certain interests. That's what politics is about. That's what politics is about.
Another thing I think we can adopt as well, I saw, because you know America is very divided, white, black, you know, so when Joe Biden was contesting, you know, and he was trying to win the votes of the black people, one thing I saw them do, because I follow the Breakfast Club and stuff like that, so I listen to these conversations. One thing I saw the black people do, they had representatives that came up with a list of what the black people desire from the president.
Politics,
you know, and they presented it to Joe Biden. So they were not waiting for Joe Biden to tell them, oh, this is what I will do for you. It was a case of this is what, or these are what we want you to do for us minority black people. I think we need to get to that place in Nigeria. Stop waiting for politicians to come and bring. We should have what we should demand from these people at this point in time.
You've said it the way it should be.
Anyway, that's about it. Oqua, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode. Please subscribe to Page 36 TV on YouTube. Like, share, like, not dislike.
You can also follow us on social media. If you don't like some of the things that we've talked about, engage us. Tell us what you think about those things. And if you're up for it, maybe we will even bring you here to come and tell us what you
speaking
think.
On Biafra, on Kanu, on Prince. She said stop speaking on Prince Nnamdi Kanu issues.
Who is Prince Nnamdi Kanu?
Nnamdi Kanu now.
Mazi.
Yeah, Mazi. She wrote Prince.
He has become Prince.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, see you guys next week. I beg.